It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. We must not allow our passions to lead us to sin, for even the things we pursue honorably are not good if we pursue them for the sake of our passions. Freedom is secured not by the fulfilling of one's desires, but by the removal of desire. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. No man is free who is not master of himself. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he is not, but rejoices for those which he has. It is not death or pain that is to be dreaded, but the fear of pain or death. To be content with what we possess is the greatest and most secure of riches. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive. We are not given a good life or a bad life. We are given a life. It is up to us to make it good or bad. The person who is virtuous does not require praise, because they are content with the reward that comes from within. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. It is not he who has little, but he who desires more, that is poor. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The greatest blessing of mankind are within us and within our reach. We should not be so taken up in the search for truth, as to neglect the needful duties of active life. Philosophy is not a theory but an activity. The man who makes everything that leads to happiness depends upon himself, and not upon other men, has adopted the very best plan for living happily. The measure of a man is the way he bears up under misfortune. The wise man does not hoard. The more he gives, the more he has. It is not enough to have a good mind, the main thing is to use it well. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The man who is not a good servant will not be a good master. The greatest wealth is to live content with little, for there is never want where the mind is satisfied. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. The art of living is more like that of wrestling than of dancing. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The more we value things, the less we value ourselves. The wise man should be prepared for everything that does not lie within his control. A wise person does not speak with their mouth, but with their heart. The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive. The only thing that is truly good or bad is a person's character. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. The foolish man seeks happiness in the distance, the wise man grows it under his feet. The man who has no imagination has no wings. Silence is better than unmeaning words. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us, and within our reach. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. We must make the best of those, else that cannot be avoided. The beginning of wisdom is a definition of terms. Do not grieve over what is past, and do not dream of what is to come, but live in the present. Freedom is the ability to choose freely, not to be free from obligations. If you want to understand others, do not judge them before you know them. Happiness does not come from outside, but from within. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Do not cling to things that you cannot control, and ignore them instead. Do not search for happiness in external things, but search for it within yourself. The wise person is one who knows what is beyond their control, and leaves it without worry. Nothing should have control over you except your mind, and if it succeeds in controlling everything, then it is the master and controller of everything. Good work starts with good thinking and good planning. Things are not as we want them to be, but as they are. Do not demand things as they are, but demand them as they can be. Patience is the ability to tolerate difficulties and challenges without losing hope. Wisdom is the ability to think correctly and make the right decisions. Do not be afraid of failure, it is part of success. Happiness is not in getting what we want, but in enjoying what we have. The work that requires a lot of effort and focus is the one that leaves a permanent impact. Do not let fear prevent you from achieving the things you want. Optimism is the belief that life is moving in the right direction. If you want to achieve success, learn from your mistakes. Success is the ability to learn and adapt to changes. Do not hesitate to take advantage of the opportunities that come your way, they may not come again. Good work is the one that makes the world a little better. If you want to move steadily towards success, take one step at a time. Change does not come from outside, but from within us. If you want to learn something new, you must be willing to unlearn what you already know. Do not let others define your happiness, define it yourself. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. No man is free who is not master of himself. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Practice yourself, for heaven's sake, in little things, and thence proceed to greater. The world turns aside too. Let any man pass who knows where he is going. It is not death or pain that is to be dreaded, but the fear of pain or death. Thank you for watching. See you in many more videos to come. Heart.